Hello and welcome to another Overlord lore video, and today we are going to take a much closer look at the theft of Ainz Ooal Gown's valuable ingots, why it likely happened, what the meaning of all of this could be, and how this might affect the wider story. But before we are going to do so, let me thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, as well as all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. Also please check out my fantasy channel for a nice video about Snow Elves or vampires. And with all of that said, let's take a look at the foolish dwarf who was brave, desperate, insidious or dumb enough to steal from Ainz Ooal Gown's personal wealth, because the ingots Ainz Ooal Gown had given the dwarven forge master hailed from his very own personal item stash. But also let's not get ahead of ourselves. First and foremost, let's answer what kind of metal Ainz Ooal Gown had given the forge master, and we were told it was serviceable metal, with no closer description applied to it. It was almost worthless from the point of view of a level 100 being, but it would be something that a being of the level of 45 would find suitable. So for the Lizardman chieftains who enter lower to mid-20s level-wise, this kind of armor would be extremely valuable. And we also know from the dwarven forge master that the metal, even when heated for a day, would glow, but actually not take on heat itself, which sounds like something similar to vanadium or vanadium dioxide. But in addition to all of this, Ainz Ooal Gown has also left a sword made from the same metal behind, in order for the forge master to have a template. And oddly enough, the sword made from the same metal could actually cut the ingot. Now at this point, we have to take a look at the situation from the dwarven forge master's point of view. An undead of unimaginable strength, accompanied by powerful bodyguards, entered the capital city of the dwarves and offers his help. With quaggoas at the gates, the dwarves could not refuse, and now the Sorcerer King had them by the throat, so to speak. And now imagine what kind of pressure the dwarf forge master might have felt as he worked the metal all day, treated it with heat and force, but no matter what he did, he could not shape it at all, and not even heat the metal. Therefore he would fail, despite the Sorcerer King personally requesting it to be made into armor for his servants. The metal could not be worked, and the forge master would take the blame. Because even with a sword made from the same metal as a template, as a blueprint, the forge master failed. So given the amount of pressure, fear and responsibility the dwarf forge master surely felt, he might simply not have been able to bear it. The situation was untenable, with the quaggoa at the gate and the Sorcerer King already inside the city. And on the other hand, this legendary metal with the legendary sword was extremely valuable, so if he just ran away and sold the metal and the sword in the nearby kingdom, then he might be able to live the rest of his days in safety and luxury. But while this most certainly is a possibility, there are a couple of hints and indicators that all of this is perhaps not as easy as it might seem. The dwarf forge master was visibly afraid and angry at the Sorcerer King, and did not trust this undead one bit. And we also have been told that the Dwarven Regency Council, that fills in for the last king of the dwarves, who had left the kingdom 200 years ago, actually did so in order to join with the 13 heroes. The same organization Platinum was a part of, or at least his armor. So maybe the dwarf forge master had been visited before by Platinum Dragonlord's armor and was unable to fix the hole shell he has left, and that's how contact was made, because Platinum, as a member of the 13 heroes, knew about the dwarf's proficiencies with metals, since, well, the Dwarf King had been part of his own fighting force. This could also explain why Platinum did underestimate Ainz Ooal Gown so grossly, because think about it. His hole in the armor was made by Sheltier, and Ainz had beaten Sheltier, so he clearly hasn't witnessed the fight between Ainz Ooal Gown and the blood-red Valkyrie, and his armor was around the level of 80 to 90. So if Platinum had received the ingot and the sword of the same material that Ainz Ooal Gown has given the dwarven forge master, in exchange for being admitted to the Arkland Council State in order for protection, then it would make sense that Platinum would so grossly underestimate the Sorcerer King. An ingot corresponding to the level of 45 would put Ainz Ooal Gown roughly on at least Shizo Delta's level, and if we take into account that there was only one other thing the dwarf identified as made of the same material as the sword and the ingot, which might have been the rich adored sword Ainz Ooal Gown had found in the treasury vault, and if Platinum takes into account that Demiurge was stronger than Evil Eye, but weaker than Momon, and that Momon was confident that he could slay the Sorcerer King, then all of this intel would have put Ainz Ooal Gown somewhere in the realm of 64 to 70 at most. So maybe the theft of the ingot and the sword was the reason why Platinum underestimated Ainz. Or maybe the dwarf just ran to another state like the City-State Alliance of Carnasus, or maybe to some relative somewhere else. Or maybe perhaps the Forge Master is a confidant of the Dragon Lord, and he wanted to offer the ingot and the sword in order to fix the hole that Shelty had left. But for this last theory we have no hard evidence, but it would kind of make sense. And with all of that said, now it's your turn. Where do you think the ingots will end up? And as usual, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Arder Daddy Arder, Bad Guy Ye, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Theralchivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee Kai Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Loverazor, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, oh hell no, Normal Toad, O'Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantom, Personage, Primus 11, Q-Ne Caracos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rag Ed Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenokai, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon under my next video.